I dropped over and I wasn't breathing. I was basically dead. That, to me, is the story right there.
On July 8th, my husband had his annual physical. He went to the doctor, and the only thing was wrong, his blood pressure was a little high. We had company Thursday night. A friend came over. The next morning, he walked into the kitchen, and the next thing I heard was kaboom.
I faintly remember being in the house, and honestly, that's it.
He wasn't, it wasn't breathing. He was just, and all of a sudden it was, I got him on his back, and then there was nothing, and I grabbed my phone and called 911.
She called a little frantic, said her husband was unresponsive.
She said, there's going to be somebody right at your door in a minute.
Listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions. Pump the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second. 1, 2, 3.
I was on routine patrol in Clark. The call came across as we had a cardiac patient.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You're doing great. Keep going until somebody gets there, okay?
No, I was screaming at her, and she's just, calm down. 1, 2, 3, and just counting and counting and counting.
2, 3, 4.
So I went in the residence with the AED in hand.
He came right to the kitchen, and he had the little thing, and he told me to stand back.
So I decided to open the AED. You apply the pads. So then we did have a shock advised immediately, and that's kind of what happened until Clark Ambulance showed up with the Lucas system.
We loaded him into the ambulance, and myself and my partner continued with CPR using the Lucas.
And it started doing the pumping. They flew him down to the neuro unit at the hospital.
Everything just seemed to be in his favor.
To have an EMT there in under 4 minutes was, to me, is just amazing.
Obviously, the outcome is good as he's in Arizona, basking in the sun.
I'm still here, that Marilyn's still with me, and we still can go do the things that we used to do.
It makes sense to equip our law enforcement officers with AEDs because they're there first.
If you can get an AED to a person that suffered a cardiac event within those first 5 to 10, 15 minutes, the chance of survival greatly increases for that person.
The AED itself is very, very easy to use.
And you open it up and it just walks you through everything.
You take the pads, you put them on the person.
So then it'll deliver a shock or it'll recommend that we start CPR. There's a metronome in there when you're doing CPR to make sure you're getting the right counts.
Somebody that's not trained in AED would easily be able to figure this out.
I've personally used an AED probably about a dozen times while on patrol.
If it wasn't for the Helmsley Charitable Trust, we would not have these AEDs in all our patrol cars.
These AEDs do save lives.
All these systems work together, and when they all work together well, there's a good chance that a person will survive this horrible event.
To the EMT and everyone that helped us, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job.
I just can't help but thank all the people that helped me and saved me.
Being told that I actually helped somebody save their husband's life is very honoring. It makes you feel good.
With Alan, all these pieces were so important together. Everything from his wife calling 911, the 911 dispatcher instructing his wife how to perform CPR. While she's performing CPR, they dispatched an ambulance, police department with an AED. The police officer was able to put on an AED on Alan, determine it was a shockable rhythm, and deliver shocks while continuing CPR. EMS then arrived, coordinated a life flight, flew him to the cath lab. All these pieces had to come together seamlessly, and we have Alan here today because of that.